Hello everyone, this is Sonia G here for the MoonBabes Monday Night Live. Happy Monday. We're at the evening of a full moon. And let me pin this. Hi you guys, welcome. How are you? So I was trying to put on a necklace tonight. This is my rose quartz moon necklace, and it got stuck in my hair because of the way that my hair is done. So I decided to keep it. So we're wearing it this way tonight, you guys. Hey, you guys. Hi, thank you for joining. I am excited to chat with you guys. We have a lot happening this week, you guys. Huge energy shift, like huge. And I am getting ready to go into a deep meditation for myself tonight before the full moon. So we have, you guys, the most powerful full moon, super moon at 0 degrees in Virgo. This is the most healing moon of the entire year. So it's a super moon because it's really close to the Earth's to the Earth. So we're going to see it really big. Depending on where you live in the world, it's going to be either tonight or tomorrow. And it has like huge transformational power. It's happening at 0 degrees, which is the energy that has the ability to transform things. It's like the birthing energy. It's the transformational energy. It's like that 0 point energy, and it's happening in Virgo, but it's happening in the light of the star Regulus, which is one of the royal stars, one of the most important stars in our sky. And it has and that's the star that carries this royal energy of like executive power, of super willpower. It's like it's very strong, very much like, hey, we need to like click with things. And Virgo, the energy of Virgo is very practical, right? So basically, long story short, you guys, and then today, this month, we also have like a lot of different things that are happening. We have Chiron that's going into Aries, right? Big deal. What I have to say about that is welcome to the revolution. That's how I feel. That's what I feel is happening. Do you feel it inside? It's like this, I want to say it's the evolution that's a revolution, right? But it's like you're evolving, but it's really about like, you have to like reframe everything. Everything is changing. Okay, this is starting to like, my eyesight is looking really weird. Let's see if we can do this or something. See if we can pull it down. Gotta have my rose quartz. If I get stuck, there we go. Okay, so it's a week full of changes, and this energy that is coming in hasn't been around since the 60s. And you know, in the 60s, they had like just such a revolution, things changed in the 60s, you guys. We're about to see that happening. Everything that we thought was normal, everything that we thought was real, all of the belief systems, everything that was working, it's like, whoo, the rug is getting pulled once again from underneath us. Like, hey, are you sure that's really, what you want to do? Are you sure that that's really how you want things to work? And it's kind of unstable ground right now. If you guys can feel it, it's like this unstable ground where you have to redefine who you are in a way that's not defined by this world. That's our challenge. That's really kind of like the energy of what's coming, is getting to know yourself beyond like, hey, I am an employee of this company, and I am like so-and-so's wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or mom or son or whatever. Outside of the labels of that, who are you? That's the big question, okay? Because in this society, we have been conditioned to be so defined by our social circumstances, and we don't pay attention to who we actually are inside. For some reason, the other day, I was putting in an old school CD in my car, And the radio popped on for a second, and I don't even know who sang this song, but it was like, and it sounded like a really good song, but it was like, the words it said was, I think it was Adele, maybe. It was, I define my worth, like, because of you, I define my worth. Okay, none of that. Like, no. Forget all this programming, okay? You are not worthy because you have a bank account. You are not worthy because of your title on your business card. That is not what defines your worth. It does, the person you're with does not define your worth. They do not bring you your happiness. Because if that's how you define yourself in your life, shit's about to get real for you. And I laugh, but it's so true. Like, this is the time where you really have to find who you are inside. Your worth is outside of the earthly things. Then, I was meditating. So I meditate often in the mirror. And if you're in any of my courses, you know this about me. So I talk to myself, I talk to my inner child, I talk to my higher self, and I do a lot of times in the mirror, okay? And so I was just meditating and repeating affirmations and just talking to myself. And so I was talking about what I want to bring through, and really the spirit of what, and the energy of what I want to bring through for this course that's going to start, the Sacred Charkas Journey, that's starting at the end of the month, okay? And as I was talking through, and I've been like working with my guides and everything, I was like, what happens in this world, it's like the physical side effects are the stuff that we get to experience in this world. Like the houses and the travel and the money and the food, right? It's just like, it's the things that are like the side effects of doing like great work, because it comes after. And we're so like mentally conditioned to do it the other way. It's like, first, you get to your heart, you figure out who you are, you figure out your message, you figure out how you add value to the world, right? You figure out how you can really like help each other, like and make a difference. And then, all the other things happen. And this is a cool thing that I just realized about myself. And I think a lot of you guys are coming up on this and or will be coming up on this, right? But think about how cool it is to be a healer and to be a teacher. I was thinking, because now I manifested living in this beautiful mansion, right? And I manifested living in this beautiful place. And I am so thankful and I am so blessed. And I'm super blessed to have electricity. If you guys follow my stories, I didn't have electricity for a couple of days. Whew, wow, right? We need that 0 point free energy to be worked out real soon. Been talking to my guides about that too. But anyways, and so, and you realize these are the side effects of doing like the work that I'm meant to be doing, of being on mission, of being like on the path and being able to experience life fuller and so on. But outside of this, outside of the mansion, outside of the house, outside of the car, right? And this was like my conversations with, when the electricity goes out, I was like, do you know how awesome it is that what I know and what I have inside of me can't be taken away? Nobody can take it away. No company's going to crumble and take away what I know and what I can teach you and how I can heal, right? Because what you have inside, your knowledge, who you are, the gift that you are to this world, nobody can take that away from you. And once you find it, that is where your magic is. That is where the magic starts to happen. And so the other things are like a beautiful side effect. I was like, look, this house is a beautiful side effect of me finding my purpose on this planet. But it's not the other way around. And so this is how we need to start to reframe. It's like, because when you discover who you are, the rest flows, right? Does that make sense, you guys? You know what I'm talking about, because everyone is kind of coming up on it. And so this full moon is our last, kind of like, not our last, but it's like a huge opportunity to heal. It's the most powerful healing moon this year. And we have it, it's tomorrow. It happens in the morning. And if you are part of MoonBabes Society, we are going on an astral travel journey, because we're integrating higher codes and higher frequencies that are coming in so that we can level up and like not worry about ascension symptoms. I have floaties. Not worry about ascension symptoms, not worrying about the integration of things. When we do these astral travels and astral projections and we access higher vibrational frequencies and we're able to just sync up with them, the work that we do in an hour and a half, because that's how long it takes, it's like the work that if you do it all like in daily life, it could take you 6 months to sync up. And I've kind of, played with this in my own life. So it's like, it's worth the hour and a half of time, trust me. So this leads me to talk to you about, some people ask me about astral travel, and a dear friend actually messaged me today about astral traveling, and a friend that had, she was asking me questions about a friend that used to astral travel when she was younger, like when she was little, without really knowing that she was doing it, but that she was doing it. She was going outside of her body, right? And now she was scared because she felt like she'd lost part of herself out there. And so she was scared of, meditating and going out there and doing all these things. And so this stuff is actually really real. When I started doing meditation, when I started figuring out where I could go, where I started really getting into stuff, you guys, to figure out my abilities and to figure out what I could do, this is how my personal journey started 12 years ago. Okay. I wanted to figure out who the hell I was. This is how stubborn and determined I am, but this is how I got here. I would sit there and meditate for 6 to 9 hours on end. That's it. Just meditate until I figured things out. When I decided that I wanted to see auras and see energy, I stared at myself in the mirror for 6 hours straight. Then I could see my aura. I was like, yes, persistence. You don't have to do it the hard way anymore. That was like 12 years ago, and energy has shifted so much now. I can teach you guys how to do it like this. So it's not, it doesn't have to be that complicated. But anyways, so once upon a time, in our younger days, we used to have to like eject ourselves out of our bodies, because why? The physical body, our earth, and the atmosphere here was so dense that in order to access yourself, okay, or a part of yourself in any other part of the world, in any other part of the cosmos, you literally could not be conscious in this body. You kind of just had to go. You had to kind of, and so that you could really experience it, because otherwise this dense part would keep on pulling you in. What's happening now, and so what happened is, some people also didn't know how to do that safely, because there are protocols when you travel in the cosmos, as I teach you guys in the Sacred Charkas Journey. And I always say this stuff, like, if you're going to travel, if you're going to do it, you got to get your driver's license. Like, you got to know how to operate the systems of light and, and of energy. You got to learn how to manage your energy. So, when you go, you want to make sure that your body, like that you're traveling safely, and you want to make sure your body is safe. You want to make sure you don't just like leave your body, because when you leave your body, it's like, hey, there's a body ready to be occupied. You don't want to be taken over by any other entities. Let's put it this way, which is also what happens when you black out. Like if you like drink a lot, or if you do drugs that cause you to pass out and black out, then just know that other entities can come and take you. That's why, when people talk about, oh, hey, this person is possessed, or, that kind of stuff, that's how it happens a lot. And, so then you got to really do a lot of work to clear that stuff out, because it's real. Stay in your lane. That's right, Claritha. That's what I always say, is to stay in your chakra lane. So we have chakras, you guys. Everybody knows by now, right? We all have chakras inside our body, our energy centers, which are now starting to combine. So it's not that they're necessarily that separated anymore. They're starting to evolve well inside our body, and they also continue. They go outside the body. So the chakras that are known are 7, but really we have 13. Okay. And so because those chakras are your own energy centers and they're linked to you and your being, then you can travel through your own energy, and then you're not at risk. Like, you need to just do it correctly. So how do you get rid of negative attachments? They're kind of like meridians, yes, but they keep going up. So how do you get rid of negative attachments? You have to do a lot of work. So you have to, the This is a long answer. There's cord cuttings that you can do. There are, first of all, you have to clear the space that you are in. Because if you clear yourself, but the space around you is like filled with like negative vibes, it doesn't last. So you have to set yourself up for success. You have to clear your space. You have to clear yourself. And the stuff like the Palo Santo or like sage, any of that, that won't do. When you have entities and negative attachments, you have to use your willpower. You have to you have to use your own strength and your own energy to yank them out. If you go to a healer and anybody else does it for you, it will just come back. Okay, so you have to learn how to do that for yourself. I mean, healers can help and they can help facilitate the process, but just know that it's you. And so depending on the, on the entity that attached to you. Yeah, Jason says a shaman. Shamans can help. And, there's also meditation depending on who's attached to you. And, the level, because sometimes they're just like little discarnate souls that are just like, ooh, sparkly person over here. I'm just going to like vampire suck some of their positive energy. And sometimes they're like the bad guys that are on a mission to drain you dry. So it's very different. And you have to just kind of this is the part of life where you have to know how to manage your energy. Like, how that you have to pay your bills in order to survive on the planet. It's coming up on that. You have to learn how to manage your energy. So you have to learn what's happening with you. If you're in alignment, if you're not, if you have attachments, if you're not, right? Like sometimes I forget because I'm flying high on cloud 9. The other day I went into Target and then I got out of Target and I started having all of these like thoughts and I was like, what is happening? And just because I forgot, I had taught 3 classes. So I was high on like super high clouds. And I didn't realize that my aura was so just like wide open that it's just sometimes that happens. And so I was like, okay, gotta clear. And it gets to the point where it's really instant because you can will it. So you'll get to that point when this stuff happens. But the bottom line is, let's not pick them up. And the other thing too is the more of a regular spiritual practice that you have, every day, connecting to yourself, connecting to source energy, right? Reconnecting to your own self, the more strongly you run your light, then the easiest it is for that to be, to leave because they just can't do it anymore. But that you have an attachment and that you're being like mentally attacked. A lot of people are being mentally attacked. If you have thoughts that take you down in like downward spirals, okay? So if all of a sudden you start like going negative and then you find yourself in this like tunnel and you can't get out of it and it just becomes like toxic in your mind, you have to learn how to stop and you have to learn how to like whack that. It's like, and I don't know how else to say it, like 2x4 it. That is not you. Innately, you are a positive being of light. You don't have negative like kind of thoughts. That's not you. Those are other things, thoughts. Those are like energies that are messing with you. So yeah. Okay. That was a long story about that. But so what I wanted to say about the traveling, the astral traveling, okay? So what we do now is when we astral travel, what we do is we actually bilocate, okay? So the technical, like in quantum physics, okay, we are actually not just here right now. True story. So that's why we connect to our higher self, right? Our higher self is energy of our own that is in a different place. So what happens is time is just separation between 2 points of consciousness. If you can follow this reasoning, you'll understand a lot of things. Because without time, everything is in the moment of right now, okay? Now, we just happen to be here in a place with density and with time and with gravity, which holds certain things in place. When we have the ability to mentally, with our intention, okay, to connect with particles of our own that are in the quantum field, like our higher self, okay, self to self, then all of a sudden you've collapsed time and you can go anywhere. You can fly anywhere. And this is like projection. This is bilocating. This is being here and being there. So in the Sacred Charkas Journey, there is a meditation in which we do a process where we actually remove or we travel twice. Connection. Okay, connection is back. So we go and project our consciousness to other planets. We go visit other planets. We go visit other beings. We go, I can't remember if we went on a ship. I know that we were escorted at one point on a ship. Like, we experienced the coolest stuff that happens in the cosmos because we have the ability to connect to ourselves in other planes. Okay, and higher dimensions. And that's really what happens. So we don't vacate the body. You're fully conscious. You're fully in this right now. And a lot of the times, I say this to people. It's like you can hit pause up there and then you can come back to 3D, have a sip of water. I do it all the time. And then you go back up because it's instant. It's not like you even have to travel it. You're just there because it's like quantum jumping. So you're there in an instant. So it's really cool. Crystal Cave on the moon, baby. That's right, Carrie. That was fun. We got to hang out in the crystal caves on the moon where there's so much healing to be done in the crystal caves on the moon. That's why the moon, there's so much controversy around it because stuff is going to come up soon and, and people will find out what's really happening on the moon. But the moon has so much healing abilities. That's why our world, when you learn how to manifest, you manifest around the cycles of the moon, right? Because the moon is like this beautiful mother magic kind of energy. So yes. How to see auras. Okay, you'll ask me a couple of times. The easiest way that you can do it is get a friend, put them in front of a white wall, okay? And have them just sit there and then you stare at them. Stare at them and kind of stare at them right here and then allow your eyes to go fuzzy and look around them. And then on a white wall, it's really easy to see. You can see like all sorts of colors. You'll see first, there's like a fuzzy, like white layer that happens all around right here. And then beyond that, if you look, you'll start to see colors. So that's the easiest way. If you don't have a friend that wants to be the guinea pig for that, then go find a white wall and put your hand out, like this, put your hand, and then just stare at your hand until you see the colors around it. You'll be able to see it because it's just a way of seeing that we are not trained to. It's like I was saying on my stories today. Nobody taught you that in school. In fact, everybody taught you that was not normal. It was not cool. We don't talk about imaginary friends. We don't talk about these things. Those things don't exist, right? So everything that we got conditioned and all this programming, we're now like we got to get rid of it because shit's about to get real. And by real, I mean real 5D. It's higher dimensional frequencies that are coming in. And so things just won't work the way that they used to. Relationships don't work the way that they used to. Companies don't work the way that they used to. Hell, the government definitely doesn't work the way that it used to. But that's a whole other story in and of itself. There's a lot of things happening behind that. So what's happening is a lot of people are waking up. And between this full moon and the equinox and after the equinox, there's going to be a huge shift. So a lot of people are actually going to be feeling like, what in the hell is happening? Like, I need to stop watching the Kardashians, right? Like, there's a lot of people that I know that are still into that and the Bachelors and like all these other things. And it's like, that is not important. The well-being of your soul and birthing your soul on this planet, that is what's important. And it's like, there won't be, if you're not taking care of your energy and if you're not taking care of your soul and of your own embodiment, and if you don't know how to manage your energy, there's only so many medicines and so many things and so many band-aids that you'll be able to have before things just don't work anymore, right? It's just, you're running yourself crazy. And you don't want to do that anymore. You want to be able to heal yourself. You want to be able to elevate yourself. You want to be able to bring your soul down to integrate. So what's happening is a process of our physical body becoming lighter, becoming less dense, so that we are able to see things, right? We're able to see colors like everywhere. You're able to see through things. You're able to see ships, right? You're able to see all the things that are happening in our sky. It's when you are able to see that, it's because you're lighter density. Okay, when you go back to lower density, you're not able to see that. Synchronicities don't happen, angel numbers don't happen, like those kinds of things don't happen because you're lower energies. And it's not that they don't happen, you just don't see them because you're not available for that frequency. And so we want to be available for that frequency. We want to be up here. Carrie says, I have been getting super blasted with downloads this past week, like something huge is about to happen. Yep. You may have already talked about this before I came on. No, I actually haven't. And so we have, but that's right, Carrie, there is like a huge shift happening. And so that's why if you are part of my Facebook group, which is a good group to be on, I posted pictures today of crop circles on my pool. Last night, as I was talking to my galactic family of light, I was like, okay, guys, we're going to need to start interacting more physically because I know we're going to meet in like physical form and I really don't want to get freaked out and like this really needs to work out easily. So let's like start working more physical, right? And so I asked them, one time I asked them to talk to me about like what they came here to do when I first met the Pleiadians. And they said, when the Pleiadians come to you, you will know it's them because, and I found out this later, but they always say that they come to unlock something. Okay. This is a trend that I noticed between light workers. And when they came to me, I was like, unlock what? Who are you? And what do you want? Right. And they would talk to me in my head and I was like, what? It was a crazy experience. And in any case, I was like, I'm going to need a sign, like, because I feel like I'm losing my shit right now. So show me, you know. And then what happened is we were about to walk out the door and my ex, he goes to open the door and the whole lock fell apart in his hands. Completely, like just unraveled, like the handle on the door and everything. And he was like, what the? And I looked at it and then I heard unlock. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? So then I learned you can't ask for those kinds of signs. You have to say, okay, have it not be a sign, a physical sign that interferes with, functionality of daily life. Like I'm going to need my door to lock. That's a good functional daily earth life thing. So anyway, so it was really cool. So then this morning I had crop circles on the pool, like these drawings, and they just looked like otherworldly. It was really cool. So so be careful when you ask for things. I always say this, I tell you guys this in the Sacred Charkas Journey, like you have to be careful when you ask for things. Ask for synchronicity, ask for, yes, or be specific. Karitha's saying like, be specific, like, can you do this or can you do that? Or, and a lot of the times if you're just looking for smaller like signs, have them talk to you through other things, through knowingness or through lights and candles and things with electricity. They're really good at that. My timer just went off because we are off time. You guys, I can talk for like hours and I didn't even tell you guys half the stuff. So let me jump off really quick and I'm going to jump back on because we've learned that otherwise I can't download these videos. So think about questions. I'm going to jump back on and then I'll do more Q&A. Okay, see you guys in a minute.